I noticed that they were quite salty too. It's not that I'm full. What you got there, Bethy? Ooh. Say hi to everybody on YouTube.
Hi, everybody.
What you got, Murdoch? Tell everybody what you did for us today. Murdoch made us a little lunch. So we are having a little time out in the woods today.
Sure would be better if we could make sandwiches. Yeah, sandwiches.
So we're out here in the woods, climbing around, trying to stay away from stuff like different kinds of poison ivies. I don't know what this stuff is, do you? When I get it in my yard around my trees, I get a rash just like poison ivy. And I've looked it up before and I don't remember what it's called. But anyways, it always gives me a little rash. So we brought some pickles and cheese, and we brought some crackers to eat and some water. And this was just a nice little break to be out of the house. It's going to be warm today. We're enjoying and not enjoying nature. Look at that. Oh, he's coming right for me. Go the other way. I'm not scared of spiders, but I'm not crazy about them crawling on me either. Yeah. So we've got this big RV rug or picnic blanket.
Very big.
We had it when we had our first camper for going to sandy beaches around Lake Michigan. So it's super nice for out here. Yes, because bringing a blanket would stick to everything, huh? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Uh-huh.
Has George had any pickle bits?
No, he can't chew them up.
I've gave him some pickles before.
Oh. So we came out to the woods so that I could do a little bit of work. I brought some logs out the other day to store in the old sugar shack, and I realized that there was a pile of old bricks that they must have used for a chimney that need to get hauled away. So we drove the Dodge out so that we could haul them out of here, because I'm sure not pulling a wagon out here to collect them, and I don't know how deep the pile goes because it's been there for a while. So I'm going to clean that up as long as we can tolerate it. The mosquitoes have started up a little bit. We've got some dragonflies running around. Yesterday or the day before, I guess it was yesterday when we came out and unloaded the logs, we found some does lying in the rye enjoying some sun. So we're going to watch for the deer, and maybe we'll walk out to the main river. The big boys are out there on the creek right now, so let's see what they're doing. So the kids are all the way down there, and I am going over to the sugar shack to load up the Dodge. But I just wanted to show you, these are a couple of the great big trees that we had. Those trees were 3 and 4 bucket taps this year. And right over here was where the Dodge was parked. So to give you an idea of where we're at in the woods, we call this the peninsula. It's just kind of a up high area in the woods. It's still much lower. It's all downhill from the fields and the rest of the farm. And then it all just keeps going more and more downhill from here. But look at this. We got to get out here and brush hog. We've got a down tree that had a couple of limbs that we didn't get to before winter came. But all this hasn't been brush hogged. We didn't brush hog right there last year because of that Ford sitting there that we just got rid of. And husband, I found out, has been hiding stuff out here to get it out of the yard, and he didn't want to put it in the low spot. So I don't know why that one's over there, but we've been using this old sugar shack to park some equipment in, and it's keeping his hay equipment all dry. But my plans are to let him do whatever he wants to with this. One of the things I love about our woods is nature. I find these little birds' nests everywhere. but I think this is some type of a hornet thing. I don't know what you call it. Let's look that up. The two are capped and the one is not. I don't know. But this is just a neat old sugar shack. There's a couple old bags from the leader tree taps, the old style. And they have these hooks and things hanging down for when they were deer hunting. And at some point they wired it so that they could run a generator out here, so that was kind of neat. We've never hooked it up to try it out. I don't even know where. Oh, I see. They put a plug right here so that a generator could sit right here and then they could run some lights. That's a good idea. So this is what I'm here for today. Right over here among all these weeds, and there's more of that stuff that's going to get me. I brought some gloves, but there's this pile of bricks. And I think that they had a chimney going up out of there instead of a stovepipe. Not real for sure about that, but there is a lot more here than I thought. So I'm going to get to this and start cleaning it up. So I don't know what kind it is, but here's a young snake. And this is the second one I found in the pile. So my warning to you is be careful of mama snake. Be careful of any kind of snakes. As you know, we have Michigan rattlesnakes here. I have no idea what this is. But I am totally skeeved out by snakes. But I've still been going on. I just got a whole nother row out. I found a snake right over on this section here. And it's different than this one. It was much bigger. So I brought my little garden trowel with me so I don't have to stick my hands in any holes or cavities. But you can see I have buried bricks down here because these have been sitting here for so long. Look at this. This is why we don't own a gator. You come out to do a job and you find out it's a much bigger job than what you think. With kids on each other's laps on the farm property, it's not a problem. The biggest vehicle I could find was a Kubota 6-passenger because it had a bench seat in the front and the back, and I wasn't about to give up $24,000. So I'm going to keep at this pile. Yeah, I'm only halfway, so I'm going to keep right at it. But look at that. Neighbor's going to love to see this coming. So how about that load of bricks, guys? I got them all cleaned up. Boy, wouldn't you know, there was probably 3 layers stuck down in the ground. So it's been a couple of days now. We decided that the bricks had a good use by staying here on the farm. Let me show you what the boys have got going on today. Trey is unloading the blocks for us. And then we've got Murdoch here. And Bethany. Bethany's running around chasing butterflies. And Jack is using his mighty power to mush them into the mud. We haven't had rain for probably about 4 days. And this area stays so wet that we just haven't been able to get it dried out enough to get this done. And we're expecting thunder showers tonight and tomorrow. So I've got the guys out here unloading the truck to lay down a base. Now, the square blocks. What's that? I don't know what you're saying.
What do you wish for?
Wish for? I wish for a dry driveway. So, we're laying down a brick road. We're laying them out nice and flat and closely together. And as the mud dries, it will serve as a mud mortar between the cement, between the blocks. If you can see here, we've got a lot of gravel. We've brought loads of gravel in and it just gets mushed down further and further. So we just keep layering it more and more. We've had big stones from the field thrown in here. So hopefully this will work out really well in this deepest area. Yeah. So you can see like today's tracks of him leaving, and then it's real soft and mucky where it's pushed up. We're just gonna keep at this. We're gonna go out and get another truckload of gravel to lay on top of them. There's another low area there and closer out by that second maple tree closest to the road. And then we've got more of a low spot just in front of where the Dodge is parked. So we're going to get it all filled in. My workers, I told them I'd pay them well. Pay your kids well for the work that they do on the farm, even for these jobs that don't earn any money, because the hours lost from getting stuck in a driveway or having to pull out really add up. So the guys are going to do good work here. They are already at least a half of a load. So we're going to keep them at it.
I'll be working on it
all day. I don't think it's an all day job, but yes. The purpose of doing all this hard work is to keep the farm up. It can get pretty piled up with all these little jobs. I tend to all the jobs, the little details, all week long. So every day I try to pick at least one extra job. And this isn't a job that I had decided today, hey, we need to do this job. We just kind of talked about it last night and said, well, yeah, we've got this going on. We've got the bricks here, so let's get it finished up. It was more or less a job that we had started and didn't get to finishing. So I looked up the pricing for gravel. 5 yards delivered of gravel is $430. That only covers 26 square feet when you lay it down 3 inches. We're getting a lot of value by putting these bricks down before the gravel. And as you know, I've got a pile of gravel out back that we had gotten delivered. For some reason, he didn't lay it down here, and I wish he had. I keep saying I wish he had. Because number one, we don't have to shovel it by hand. And number two, the backhoe still isn't put back together. The problem with the backhoe is that starter. We put a new starter on it. It started once, then it was gone again. So I don't know how a starter can fail. Of course, everything's made in China. So we'll see. We have the new starter here, if they gave me the right one. And if they didn't, then we've got to either take one of the old starters in, tear it apart ourselves, whatever. But it's got to get done. So to lay down the gravel on top of this stone, we're not going to be just giving up, that $430. Like I said, there's 4 deep areas here, and they are bigger than 26 square feet each. I couldn't even calculate it out. I have no desire to calculate it out. So we're just going to lay this down to start a base. We'll get another load of gravel, and it's just a project that we work on a little bit at a time because it's a big job, shoveling gravel into the back of the truck and then bringing it up here. It is the kids' least favorite thing to do. But I will tell you, the benefits of doing it are huge. The area that we did last year that we put up laying the gravel down, that area by the fuel tanks does not flood anymore at all. So we have brought up probably 4 truckloads to this area. It's going to be real hot today and tomorrow in the 80s and 90s. Because the heat's going to be so high for a couple of days, we won't be getting out there to get more gravel. But at least we're getting another base laid down so that we can get this job wrapped up. So I'll show you what it looks like when the guys are all done. You probably won't even be able to see it. Okay, everybody, the boys are all done with their job. They're unloaded. I gotta go unload all the scrap wood that I pulled out of the old sugar shack still, and the plastic and the scrap metal. But all of our blocks are down on the ground. You see how that mud, when we push them down, it just squeezes up into the cracks. It'll just serve as mortar. You did a real good job, Murdoch. I super appreciate it. He got me a nice flat bed started, and then I was able to drive the Dodge back onto it a little bit for him. But you can see how they just sink right down in. So we'll reposition a few of these bricks here that wanted to pop up on the side from hitting the edge of the tire, but when he goes over it with the semi truck, loaded or unloaded, they're just gonna sink right down. Load of gravel, you won't even know they're there. So that is our job for today, everybody. Thanks for watching. Like these boys' hard work with a thumbs up. A little bell for announcements for the next video, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.